Yeah, I grew up in New Jersey, Pequannock, New Jersey, small town. Played college ball, University of New Haven. It's NE10 conference. And after college ball, I was trying to play pro for a while, and I just kind of fell into training. Started training the kid locally, and then just built a brand from there. But really, when I was in high school and my entire career, as long as I can remember, I was studying the game and trying to learn as much as possible. I'm definitely a better coach than I was a player. I was an okay player, but I know my passion is really into teaching and helping these other kids. One of the main reasons I got into training is because I was fortunate to get a full basketball scholarship, and I kind of I don't look the part, and I had to really work hard, super hard, and try to build on becoming a basketball player. Essentially, I'm 5'10". I'm not the fastest player. Can't jump. Not the most athletic. So I don't really look the part. So with my work ethic and the way I kind of trained myself growing up, I was able to get a full basketball scholarship. So I know it's possible for these kids, but some of them really need direction. So that was my main reasoning to really get into training, is to help the kids get a full basketball scholarship, because that's really what changed my life and helped me get to where I'm at today. Young players are all different, so if they're just starting to play the game, I don't want to box anybody in. So I'd say just give them as many tools as they can possibly have, especially at a young age. So when I was in middle school, I was taught to do things specifically. For instance, for example, I was taught to jump off my left foot with my right hand, my right foot with my left hand, shoot a jump shot, make sure your whole body's square to the rim. And the more I'm realizing, the less we give the kids exact details and box them in and tell them that there's a specific way to do something, the more we do that, the harder it is for the kids to develop. So when I'm working with young kids, I really just try to give them as many tools as they possibly can have, and then they're gonna slowly start to figure out what works for them when they get older. Because at the end of the day, we're not great at a million things as basketball players. We're good at a few things. So giving the kids as many tools as they can to find their personal strengths is one of the main things that we focus on. And then if I'm working with a college player or a pro, then it's more specifics. So if they need to focus on something as far as a jump shot, or they have something mechanically wrong, then we'll just focus on that small nuance, and we'll try to build on it and really rep it out. If it's a high school kid that needs to get drafted to get into the NBA, and maybe he has 2 or 3 things he needs to focus on, then we'll focus on those 2 or 3 things and work that way. But it really just depends on the player that we're working with, from middle school all the way up to the professional level. For me, it's about details. So, not that I'm gonna put that on each kid that I train, like specific details, because every player is different and some things can be confusing the more you overload the skill. But as far as teaching to the masses on camera, I think details are very important, because now I can reach as many kids as possible. So if I'm in a gym training a kid one-on-one, I'm not gonna throw a million micro details at him, but to explain and help the masses, I think that's super important. So for me, focusing on just those little nuances is something that I pride myself on and can kind of separate myself from a lot of other guys. Not that it's the most important thing, but I think personally I can reach a bigger audience and help more kids and trainers and coaches that way, just by really focusing on the details, and then just studying the game and trying to turn those details into real game action. I like skill work and game work, and I like to combine and fuse the two together. So just being able to build on from a skill standpoint and then transition it into game application when it matters for these players, I think I do a pretty good job with. Yeah, I mean, I love the dish. I remember when I was training in high school, I had a little net, and they rolled the ball out, and I would have to pick it up with the roller. Didn't know what I was doing. I knew it was working because my shoulder's on fire and I'm getting reps, you know. But at the end of the day, I didn't know what I was working on. So the dish is so unique in the fact that it's literally giving me drills and exact things that I could work on from some of the best trainers and coaches in the world. If I had that when I was growing up, I don't know where I would have gone as a player, because I knew I worked hard, but I didn't work diligently because I wasn't sure what to work on. So I think the dish really provides that value as far as it's going to give you exact details and exact workouts that you need to get better as a player. And then obviously it's an accountability partner, and it's going to let you get a ton of reps up in the gym. You're literally cutting so much time out by not having to go get your rebound, come back. You're getting rep after rep after rep. And then, like I said, just the technology behind it and the accountability factor, it's crucial to your development. Honestly, I get asked that a lot, and I've been getting asked that my whole life, and I don't know. And I don't think we're supposed to know anymore. I know like before, I'm very big on like mental health and just like really growing with the times, and everything is changing so quickly. So if you asked me 5 years ago where I would be at right now, I would have given you a completely different answer. But I don't know where I'll be at 5 years. I know that we're going to keep building the Hoop Study brand. We're going to keep trying to help coaches, trainers, players as much as possible. But as far as 5 years from now, I can't say I have like an exact plan. Just only because so much has changed in the past 10 years. So I don't really know what's going to happen. I can tell you this, that we're going to keep providing valuable content. We're going to keep trying to help as many people as we can within basketball, and we're going to just see where it goes from there. That's a really good question. I think I didn't have enough confidence as a player, and the more I study like individuals in general, I kind of understand why I didn't have the confidence. So I would just tell myself that these things that you're worried about don't actually matter as much as you think they do. And I think a lot of the kids all over the world now need to hear the same exact thing. They're not confident in certain areas. Some of these kids can really go, but maybe they're insecure in this aspect of their life, and they're transitioning it between the lines on the court. So I think for me, it wasn't really about basketball. It wasn't really about my work ethic. It was more about just being more confident on the floor. And that stemmed from a bunch of different things when I was growing up as a player. But that's the main thing that I would give. That's the main advice I would give myself is, man, relax, be more confident out there. You can play the game, and I put that on my players now. I mean, they need to. Every kid is different. Their all upbringing is different. So you need to learn how to really connect with them to get on their psychological level. And that comes with understanding the kid, the player, his situation off the court, his situation on the court, and then being able to tap into his psychology a little bit and really help him develop the confidence. So I think that's a crucial part for these kids and these players.